So today we are looking at the Xmint Linux. So here is the boot menu. Let me quickly boot it in the live boot. So this is the August ISO file. So the ISO file was released a few days ago, like 1 or 2 days ago, which is August edition. So I'm running it on a virtual machine with 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So I'm going to show everything like what it's based on and what the desktop environment it has, all those things as soon as it's booted up. And also I'm going to show all the features and downloading process of the ISO file, so you don't need to worry about anything. So let it wait, let it load up the desktop layout, and I'm going to continue from there. So here is the desktop layout loaded completely. So it took 4 minutes to load up the desktop. So let's open the first system monitor to see hardware specs. Not the hardware specs, let's see how much of resources it's consuming. So it's in different language, so I need to find all those things like a system monitor. So I can't find anything here, so let's try to type. So there is no system monitor. As you can see, I typed yes and I don't see anything here, not even the task manager. So we need to find the system monitor. So if it's not, then we just need to continue with the other things. Let's try to choose all the applications and let's try to find here. I don't know what language it is, but I'm going to show you all the information by going to the official website. So as you can see, there is no system monitor, but we have the Stacer. Let's try to open the Stacer. As you can see, there is no system monitor. So let me open the Stacer and see how much of RAM it's consuming right now. So it's pretty much unknown Linux distro. I randomly found it on the SourceForge. So I already made videos on this Linux distro, but here is the information. So distribution, it says as a Linux Mint 22, and here is the kernel version. So here is my CPU, which is a 12 Gen i5 1240p, and CPU is consuming around like 60%. RAM is almost like 980 MB, and here is the disk. So I'm going to keep the before the other things, let's check the startup apps. So here are the startup apps. System cleaner. Here is the search. Here are all the services running right now. So these are all the services. And next one is the process. So these are all the processes running as soon as you boot up the Linux distro. So here is information. You can't scroll. So here is the resources. It says CPU 100%, and here is other information like a RAM. So let's keep the default one like a CPU and RAM, and let's try to make it smaller, and I'm going to keep it in the right side corner throughout the video so you can see all the changes throughout the video. So I wish we had the system monitor, but we have this one. So hostname, it says as a Xmint. Let's first open the browser and get to the website, and then we're going to type in some commands to get all the distro information. So the browser we get is the Brave browser. So let it load. So usually the browsers will take like a 15-20 seconds in the virtual machine. So usually you should be seeing the Firefox web browser in almost every Linux distro, but in this Linux distro you should be seeing the Brave browser. I don't know what language it is, but we are going to find it somehow. So let's check the version. I think this is about Brave. Let's try it. So the version you get is 1.68 141. So it's based on Chromium 127. So this is the latest browser or the latest version. So I found it on the SourceForge. So let's try to type in SourceForge. And we already have the URL here. So this is the URL, and just type in Xmint. So here is the file. So here is all the information. So you don't get any information. Usually there will be some description, but you don't get anything here. So let's click on files. So here you can see it's 6 hours ago. So this is the file I downloaded, which is the August version 2024-08-20, and this is some version. So you can directly download it from here, but I downloaded it from the Google Drive. So the URL of the official website will be provided in the down here. As you can see, it says follow Xmint. Just click on the Xmint website and you should be seeing the official website, which is Verlinux T, like something like this, but it's better to go and click on the source code instead of typing all those things, because sometimes there will be a malware link. So that's the reason. So let me open Google Translate. Google Translate, hit enter. So we can put the URL here and we should be seeing the language, Google Translate. So it's also in the some different language. So I'm going to type in first google.com. So we need to change the language to the English. I'm going to change it to the English. Now I'm going to type in the translate. So I'm using a VPN, so it says some other servers. So let's open the Google Translate. So still the language didn't change. I hope we need to change the language. Let's try to go back and try to change the language. So it says some, I think this is a Dutch language. So let's go back. So this will be issue. So I think it's from the Dutch. I don't know which country, but this is the website. Let's copy the website and paste it in the. Before that, let's try to change the location. So the language is English, but let's try to change the location. At least it's going to change some language in the background. So there is no language selection here, so we need to go with the Google Translate and try to paste it like that. Let's go to the website. Let's paste the, I hope this is the paste. Let's click on the link and you should be seeing the URL in the English. I hope it shows the English language. So here is the website. Here is the ISO file which I downloaded. So this is the Linux distro. Click on the Xmint. Let me click it again. So nothing is happening. So here is the information, as you can see. So it says some different language here. When you try to put it in your operating system, it's going to show you the actual location, not the actual location, it's the actual language. Sorry, I'm a bit tired, so I don't know what I'm talking, so try to ignore some mistakes. So let's go back. So it's not even changing the language, so because of the default language, so I can't even go back. So I'm stuck here. So you should be seeing in the English language. So there is some basic things here. So you can click on the downloads. So let me go back and try to open it again. So let's wait and see. And also it's a bit of laggy also. It's not a smooth experience while using this Linux distro. So here is the Xmint. Let me click on the ISO file. So nothing is happening. You need to scroll it down to get all the information. So here is the information. So you should be seeing in the different language. Just put it in the Google Translate and you should be seeing in the English language. Just translate it to the English. And also you need to see in which language it is actually in the first. And you should be seeing there will be, if it's from the Dutch, then the Linux distro is from the Dutch. I don't know what country. It should be from Netherlands or something like that. So we don't have any information other than these things. So in order to download the ISO file, you can go with this two mirrors. So here is the system requirements for this Linux distro. You need to have like a 2 GHz dual core processor and 2 GB, I think it's a RAM, and also 64-bit architecture. So let's click on the downloads. I'm going to choose the Google Drive. because Google Drive will be pretty much fast. So this is the latest ISO file, which is 2024-0820. So just click on the download. So I hope this is from the Netherlands, I guess. So the country of origin should be Netherlands because of the language I'm seeing here. So try to put it in the Google Translate, and you should be seeing the Dutch before translating. So we can say that it's from the Netherlands, I hope. Maybe it should be from different, but most of the cases it should be from Netherlands. So here is the ISO file, here is the version, and it's 3.5 GB of ISO file. So that was the downloading process, and this is the official website. Just go there and read everything, translate it in the English, and you should be learning everything. So this is the system requirements you need to have to run this Linux distro. So I'm going to close the browser. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's try to close it. So let me open the terminal. Let's open the terminal and type in some commands. So these are all the pre-installed applications you get from the Linux Mint, not the Linux Mint, it's X Mint. So let's try to open the terminal. So let's try to open the XFCE terminal. So we have the transparent terminal, so let's check the version. So you get the 1.1.3. So let's try to change the color so we can see everything properly. I hope this is the colors. I think this is the presets. I think this is the black and white. So I'm going to choose the black and white, and let me change the transparent background to solid. So everything is okay now. So let me type in neofetch. Hit enter. So it says Linux Mint 22. I hope it's based on Linux Mint. So there is no information literally, so you need to find every information on your own. So here it says VMware because I'm running it on the VMware, and kernel version is 6.8.0. so the latest Linux kernel available in the official website is 6.10.6, and uptime is almost 15 minutes. Here are the packages, which is 23507 Flatpak, and here is the shell bash version 5.2.1. so the resolution, it says 1360 into 768. Let me try to change these to 1920 into 1080. So right now we are having the resolution of 1920 into 1080. I thought it was 1920 into 1080, but it was 1360 into 768. Let's try the neofetch now, and you should be seeing the 1920 into 1080. As you can see, it's changed to the resolution 1920 into 1080. And the desktop environment is a XFCE 4.18. Here is the theme. Here are the icons. Here is my CPU, which is 12 Gen i5 1240p, and the memory is almost 1256 MB of 8 GB. So here you can see it's a 1.4 GB. It says as a 1.4 GB. Now let's type in some other commands to get some other information. So let me type in inxi. Hit enter. So again, same information like 60 GB of virtual disk. Here is my kernel. Here is the uptime. inxi version is 3.3.34. So let me type in another command. inxi -b. So I can't type the dash because of some when you have the different language in the distro, it should be when you type in the keyboard, it should be something else because of the I'm using the United States QWERTY keyboard, but the Linux distro, when it's different, you should be having some different symbols when you type in, like for example, I'm typing dash now. As you can see, it's showing something like a capital B or something like that. I'm far away from the monitor, so it should be different here. I can't properly see. Let's copy the dash symbol here, or maybe let me try to use the shift and 7. It's not, it's a symbol. It's a :/. So I'm going to choose some other things. For example, question mark. So it's when you type question mark, it shows as a dash. So it's a different language. So that's the reason it's showing different when you type. So -b. So you should be seeing the host as the Xmint kernel version is 6.8, which I already mentioned. Distro, it says as a Linux Mint 22 Wilma. The XFCE desktop environment 4.18.1. Right now we don't know still it's based on Linux Mint or anything like that. I'm going to show everything after typing some other commands. So here is our VMware, and here is some graphics information. So I accidentally moved something. So the graphics display is X11 server Xorg version 21.1.11 with the XVLAN version 23.2.6, VMWGFX version 2.20. And what else we have here is the resolution of the monitor. So the OpenGL version is a 4.5, compact version 4.3, Mesa version 24.0.9. Here is our network information. Here is the virtual disk information, which I already mentioned. Here are the processors running right now, which is 305. And here is the RAM. So let me type in some other commands like inxi dash. So I forgot to type the question mark instead of dash. So here is the question mark. inxi dash capital F. So here you should be some additional information like a CPU. So these are all the same things which I already mentioned, like a display. So EGL version is 1.4, 1.5. OpenGL compact version, which I already mentioned. Here is audio information. Pipewire version is 1.0.5 and the ELSA version is right here. So the same network information, drives and other sensors information is right here. If you want, you can read it by pausing the video. So let me type in inxi dash capital G. I forgot again. So when it's when the keyboard is changed, so it will be a bit of problem. So I need to type in question mark for the dash capital G. You should be seeing the graphics information here, so which I already mentioned in the beginning here. So there is nothing to read here. So let me type in cat. So you need to type shift and 7 for the :/, etc. Again shift the number 7 for the :/ issue. So here it says Linux Mint 22 Wilma. So I need to type in the final command inxi -sv8. So you should be getting all the distro information in just a single command instead of typing all the above commands. So you can get all the information right here by typing the inxi -sv8. So here it says host as Xmint, which I already mentioned, kernel, which I also mentioned, compiler GCC version 13.2.0, and here is the parameters and other information. So the desktop environment version, which I already mentioned, 4.18.1, GTK version 3.24.41, XFWM version, XFWM4 version 4.18.0 with the XFCE4 panel. Here is the tools, Light Locker version 7, not version VT7 DM, and Light DM version is a 1.30.0. So distro, it says as a Linux Mint 22 Wilma, and it's based on 24 of Ubuntu Noble Numbet. So I forgot the code name of the 24.04. So it should be like a Noble or something like that. Let me show you that thing. So it's based on Ubuntu 24.04. So let's try to type the Linux Mint, not the Linux Mint, like Ubuntu. So I forgot the codename because I will be making 2 videos daily without missing any day, so it's pretty much hard to remember everything. 24.04. so we should be seeing the codename here. So it's a Noble Numbet. Yes, it's correct. So it's based on Ubuntu 24.04 Noble Numbet, and here is the machine. Here is the machine. Here is the memory, which I already mentioned. You just need to scroll it down to get additional information. So we covered everything here, so there is nothing to read here. So when you scroll it down, you should be also seeing the CPU information. So here is my CPU information. Scroll it down and you should be also seeing all the vulnerabilities. And here you should be seeing the graphics information, which I already mentioned. So display, X11, Xorg, I already mentioned everything, so it's a waste of time to read it again. So when you scroll it down, you should be also seeing the display and also the available monitor resolutions, EGL version 1.5, EGL 1.4. So you should be seeing all the information right here. OpenGL version, which I already mentioned. Here is some additional audio information, which I already mentioned again. So you need to scroll it down to see additional information. For example, the network, Bluetooth. If you have the Bluetooth, you should be seeing the Bluetooth version and other things. Also, here is the drives, partitions. Here is the USB. So these are all the basic things. You can just pause the video and read everything from here. Here are the repos, packages, and other informations. And also here is the process. And also you should be seeing the INXI version, GCC version, and also systemd version 255. Uptime process 318, I think 310, it's 310 process. So here is the shell bash version 5.2.21. So we got all the information of the distro. So it's based on Ubuntu 24.04. So you should be getting all the information right here. So I think we need to type in like a htop. So htop is not pre-installed. So in order to install, you just need to type in sudo apt install htop. So I'm not going to do that. Let me close it. So I think instead of closing, I just minimized it. Let me close it. So I think it's the installer. Let's open the installer. So it should take like a few seconds here. So we get the Calamarus installer, and also we should be seeing the version of the Xmint Linux. So it says as a Linux Mint in the distro, but it's a Xmint, and also it's based on Ubuntu. So people who want to know what it's based off is Ubuntu, and the language, as you can see, it says Dutch. I think it's from the Netherlands. So you need to change it to whatever language you want. So if you ask me whether to use this Linux distro, in my opinion, I don't think you need to go here, because it's better to go with the Linux Mint instead of this Linux distro, because it's not known Linux distro. So if you want to go with the Linux distro, you can go with the Linux Mint. So the system requirements, which I already mentioned in the beginning, like a 2 GHz processor. If you already have those type of hardware, it's better to go with the Linux Mint and choose whatever desktop you want, like a XFCE, Cinnamon, or Matte desktop environment. You can choose 3 desktop environment by choosing the Linux Mint. So if you still want to try it, you can try it in the virtual machines, but I don't recommend it you use in the main PC or work PC. But it's clearly up to you. It's your opinion. If you want to use it, you can use it. But my final thoughts will be like it's better not to use this Linux distro. Instead of this, you can go with the Linux Mint. So here is the version. Choose your language, click on next. Again, this is a Calamarus installer, so you should be seeing everything same in the installation. So the version is 3.3.5. Choose the location, choose the map, or choose the drop down menu. And the system language will be set to American English, United States. You can change if you want. The numbers and date locales will be set to American English. If you want customize, you can change it or else keep it like that. Click on next. Next, you need to choose your keyboard. It automatically chooses your keyboard. For some reason it shows some generic something like that, but my keyboard is Dell. Here is the language for the keyboard. I'm going to choose the default options. You can customize according to your wish. So if you want to test your keyboard, you can type here to test your keyboard, and also you can switch your keyboard. I'm going to keep everything is at default. Click on next. So in order to install this on the virtual disk or whatever disk you want, so you need to understand how to install the Linux distro in the virtual disk or a main disk or anything like that. So you need to know the installation process of the Linux Mint. If you are a newcomer or a new to the Linux, it's better to watch tutorials, just the installation tutorials. So you should be good with the installation. So if you ask me whether I did installation tutorials, the answer will be I don't really want to say it, because I will be making a video of complete distro. I never made a separate tutorials of installation videos, because I'll be covering like everything about this distro. So, and also my videos will be a bit lengthy, like a 25 plus minutes, because I'll be covering everything of that specific Linux distro. So, and also I don't remember in which Linux distro I installed it on the main disk or a virtual disk, because I covered like a 3000 videos. It's pretty much very hard to point out in which Linux distro I installed it on the main PC or the virtual disk. So it's better to watch some YouTube videos, like just the installation tutorials, like videos will be like 2-3 minutes, and you should be good with the installation, because there is nothing complicated in installing the Linux distros in the hard disk. So first you need to choose your installation destination. If you have link multiple hard disk or virtual disk, choose the specific disk and install it. So for example, if you choose the disk and you choose the erase disk, it's going to erase everything whatever available in that specific drive. So be careful. That's the reason I already mentioned that you need to watch tutorials of installation. So basically it's going to delete everything in that specific drive, and it's going to install the Xminit Linux on that specific drive. Here are the options. So this is a single boot option and this is a dual boot option. So manual partitioning is an option. You need to create a partition before choosing this option, and you should be seeing two specific drives here, like that partition, and you can install in that partition. And also you should be seeing two options in the boot menu, like two operating systems or a dual boot options in the boot menu, and one will be the Xmint Linux and other will be the current operating system which you are using. So that's the installation process here. So if you want to encrypt your system, you can click on this, and you should be providing both the boxes with the same password. If you don't want, just uncheck it. And here is the bootloader location. So here you should be seeing three options, which is a master boot record of that installation drive, and here is the system partition, and other will be the do not install a bootloader. So if you watch the tutorial, you should know how to do all those things. So click on next. You need to create a user account, which is same in every operating system, so there is nothing complicated here. So it says what is your name. You need to provide your name. For example, let me type in like a 9to5 Linux. So here you can see it's a 9to5 Linux. What name do you want to use to log in? If I choose the numericals first, you should be seeing like your username must start with a lowercase letter or an underscore. So it doesn't allow you to use the numericals first. You need to type in the alphabets. For example, run boxing. So if everything is going good, you should be seeing the tick mark right beside the boxes. Choose a password to keep your account safe. For example, I'm choosing the simple password, like 123456. Same thing in both the boxes. If everything is going good, you should be seeing tick mark. So if you want to log in automatically without asking for the password, you can check it, or else you just uncheck it. After clicking on next, you should be seeing the summary of whatever you choose in the previous installation. It should be right here. So first the drive will be like this, after installation it will be like this. So after clicking on install, it's going to take like a 20 to 25 minutes, depends on the PC. If you have like a good end PC, you should be good with a few minutes lesser, and if you have like a low end PC, you should be taking a bit more there. And also it also depends on the ISO file. If the ISO file is stable, it should be installation will be good without any issues. If it's like a beta version, development version, or any other any other unstable version will be taking a lot time, and also sometimes the installation also may fail. So that will be the difference. So this is the installation process. I don't want to install because I need to make another video. So I'm going to close. So here is some desktop features. So date and time. Looks like an internet connection. I don't know what it is. It says X Live Web AI. So it's a chat GPT. So that's a good thing. I don't know, it's a different language, so it's pretty much very hard to use it. So you can use the chat GPT. And also what it is, let's try to find it. So it says something here. So here is the task manager, terminal. You can open the applications from there. I think that's a shortcut. So here is the Stacer, which I already opened. Let me close one. And I think this is the weather app. So it's Germany. So I don't know it's from the Germany or Netherlands, but it says as a Dutch. So you need to find it on your own. So I don't know where it's from, but you see the Dutch language in the system. So in order to use this Linux distro, it's better to install it on the virtual disk and change it to the American English if you want to see it everything in English. So these are all the desktop features. Let's check the desktop backgrounds. So here are the wallpapers available for this distro, which is Xmint. So they have the nature wallpapers, which is pretty much good. So you get a bunch of wallpapers, like 12 or 15 wallpapers. Here is the menu. Here are the other options. So I think we are good with the video, I think, because it's a XFCE desktop environment. Most of the applications are from the XFCE, and also they added some like a WhatsApp web and Thunderbird, and also the Spotify and some other applications from the Xmint Linux. So here is the startups. You can customize according to your wish here. So let's try to open a bunch of applications to see whether this distro will handle day-to-day tasks. Like it's like a stress test by opening a bunch of applications. Let me open like a Office Suite and also the Thunderbird. Let's randomly open like maybe 5 to 6 applications, which consumes a lot of resources. So keep an eye on the CPU and RAM. So you should be good whether to use this Linux distro or not. So there is also some heroic game launchers, like you can play games in this Linux distro. But if you ask me whether it's going to be smooth, so right now it's consuming 70% of CPU, 1.8 GB of RAM. So I don't know how it performs on the gaming, but it's clearly up to you to test on your own if you want. But if you ask me, I'm not going to recommend this Linux distro. It's better to go with the other Linux distros, because we don't know anything about this distro, because and also it's not a well-known Linux distro. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. In my opinion, I'm not going to recommend this Linux distro because it's based on Ubuntu, and also it says distro as a Linux Mint. Instead of this, you can just go with the Linux Mint 22 Wilma, which is supported until a few years, which I already made a video on it. I don't really remember how many years it's supported. You can just watch my video there and you should be getting all the information about the Linux Mint 22 Wilma. So that's the latest Linux Mint. If you want to go with that Linux distro, you can go with that Linux distro, or else if you want to try this Linux distro, you can try it on your own. And do let me know in the comment section how it performed in your PC. So you need to have those system requirements which I already mentioned in the beginning. In the they also provided everything information in the website. So try to translate in the English. So you should be seeing everything in English so you can easily read everything there. So let's open the appearance. So we need to find the appearance. So there is no appearance here. So let me open other applications. So you get the Hero game launcher. Here is the Steam, and also we have the GIMP. So they added pretty much most usable applications which is used day to day, like a Office Suite, like an image editor, and all the VLC media player. So they added pretty much good applications which usually we use daily. So after opening a bunch of applications, these are all the resources. So they are also taking a lot of time to open all the applications. So it's still consuming a lot of time. So CPU went almost 100%. So the applications are still opening in the background. So it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. I'm going to show you the application information. I'm going to end the video. So you get the GIMP 2.10.36. So instead of closing, I again minimized. Let me close this. Here is the Hero game launcher. Here is the version. You can log into your account and play games. Let's quit it. Let's check the VLC media player version. You get the 3.0.20 version. And also here is the OnlyOffice version 8.1.1.27. And also in the background there is a Brave browser. Let's close everything. So try to change in the English language and try it. So here is the information at the end of the video. These are all the resources. So it's pretty much under 25%, and RAM went up to 1.3 GB. And you saw every changes throughout the video. So it's clearly up to you to decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. So in my opinion, I'm not going to recommend because it's not a well-known distro. You can go with the Linux Mint or Ubuntu or whatever other Linux distros which are known. So you can go with this Linux or go with that Linux distros. So let's check the logout screen, and I'm going to end the video. So let's wait. And also the booting process took a lot of time, like 4 minutes. Usually the booting process of every Linux distro will take like 2 or 3 minutes in my PC, but it consumed a bit more there. So here you can see Dutch. So here are other languages. Accessibility. So it says DE. I don't know whether it's from Germany or Netherlands. It's clearly up to you. I don't have that much of knowledge about this distro, but you can get it according by searching everything on your own. So just translate in the Google, and there is no information about the Xmint in the SourceForge, but you need to go to the official website and get all the information there. So this is my final thoughts, and this is the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.